Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for July 12th. July 12th is the 193rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 194th in leap years, with 172 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is preposterous. Preposterous is an adjective that means contrary to nature, reason, or common sense, absurd. For example, the state legislature rejected the governor's preposterous idea that the state should increase revenue with a new tax on city businesses. Or, it's preposterous to think we can solve societal problems without sufficiently addressing the underlying issues. This word is a great example of a case where knowing something about word parts helps you figure out what a word probably means. And what do I mean by that? Preposterous. If pre means before and post means after, it seems reasonable to think that preposterous likely refers to something that's mixed up, like getting the cart before the horse. Sure enough, the word preposterous comes to us from Latin, where it meant in the wrong order. First known use of the word preposterous is in the 1530s. Preposterous. The word preposterous was suggested by Mr. Bowers as we were discussing something he'd read in an article. And if you have a word you'd like to see us explore in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. And with that, Captain James Cook began his third voyage on July 12, 1776. It's good to know that some other things besides the American Revolution were happening in the world in 1776, so let's talk about Captain Cook for a minute here. He was a British explorer, cartographer, that's someone who draws maps, and naval officer, best known for his 3 voyages around the Pacific Ocean, particularly around New Zealand and Australia. In fact, he made the first known European contact with the Hawaiians, which I believe we've touched upon before. He made the first documented contact with the eastern coastline of Australia and the first recorded circumnavigation of New Zealand. He made a lot of maps, too, detailed maps. Newfoundland and the entrance to the St. Lawrence River initially, which he did at a particularly critical time during the siege of Quebec. This brought him and his skills to the attention of the Admiralty and netted him a commission as commander of the HMS Endeavour for the first of 3 Pacific voyages in 1768. He'd charted enough of Australia's eastern coastline to show that it was continental in size, and his charts of New Zealand showed that it was unto itself and not attached to a larger landmass. He returned to England from that first voyage in 1771. He got a promotion and a second voyage and headed out on that second voyage in 1772. The Royal Society believed there was a landmass farther south from Australia that they referred to as Terra Australis. Captain Cook actually crossed the Antarctic Circle on that voyage, and some of the charts he made on that voyage were so accurate that copies of them were still in use into the mid-20th century. But still no such presumed Terra Australis was located. He returned to England from that trip in 1775. That brings us to today's story, when on July 12, 1776, he embarked on his third voyage. It was on that third voyage, by the way, that he became the first European to begin formal contact with the Hawaiian Islands. Pretty sure we've mentioned that before in another episode. From there, he continued east across the Pacific and charted the majority of the North American northwest coastline on world maps for the first time. How about that? Unfortunately, Captain Cook and some of his crew were killed in an altercation with the Hawaiians in February of 1779. Captain Cook. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.